Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com, and in this video I'm going to be answering your questions. Now these questions have come from Patreon members and also YouTube channel members. This is something I do every Sunday, so you can become a member or a patron from as little as $2 a month and help support the channel. But I do like to make these videos available for everyone, so let's jump into the first question. Jacob on Patreon asks, you have stated that you don't think the brand name Star is a good choice, which is their new streaming service. Can you think of a better name, or do you think they should just add it onto Disney Plus app? Now, I'm going to be honest, I think Star is a pretty generic name for any streaming service, let alone one featuring content from ABC, 20th Century Fox, etc. so on. Now, in case you're not aware, basically the idea is Disney are going to be launching a new streaming service internationally instead of Hulu. Instead of doing the whole thing that they've done with Hulu, they're going to be bringing it internationally, and it's going to be containing all the licensed content that they own from brands such as ABC, 20th Century Studios, FX, Searchlight, etc. Now, it's a bit muddled of what they're kind of looking at. We've heard in the past that it's going to be, some of it might be independent, some of it might be integrated with Disney Plus, some of it is all over the place. They haven't really kind of announced too much details. Very similar to what's already happened in India, where they have Disney Plus Hotstar, which means they get all the Disney Plus content, and they also get lots of licensed content and other sports and things like that. So the idea really, I think, with Star at the minute is we don't really know too much. Now, the idea that it's all integrated in with Disney Plus is great. You know, if they offer like a tiered service, I think that could work quite nicely. You know, it's a couple of dollars extra, a couple of pounds more to kind of unlock, you know, the 20th Century Studio library, adding shows like Grey's Anatomy, and then you're going to have Family Guy, Simpsons, and more of that, really. All the stuff that maybe doesn't necessarily fit under Disney Plus. However, the two-tiered system is going to be an issue, and I think as a whole, why Disney would want to launch a second streaming service when Disney Plus is so successful. You know, over 60 million subscribers, they've already hit the target that they planned for 5 years. It makes more sense to me to have one system, but I could see the tiered system working a bit better, especially if you don't want all of that content and they don't want to put the price up too much. But the other issue that's kind of confusing on that is some of the movies that they are putting onto Disney Plus already kind of seems a bit weird in terms of they're putting more 20th Century Studio stuff on there and a bit more mature content, which I think is great. I think Disney Plus needs that. But I think Star is a dreadful name. I just think it makes more sense just to make Disney Plus the international version, just make it much bigger and have as much content as possible and increase the price if they need to. Because as much as I like it at the price it is, you know, if they're adding all of that extra content, they can't continue to do it at that price considering what Amazon and everybody else says. And that's the key other issue. There's so many different versions. You know, we've got Now TV in the UK, we've got Amazon, we've got Netflix, we've got all these different things. So if Disney have just one solid thing and they can focus on that and give us great content, I think that is a key. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait until the investors' date. But yeah, I really don't like the name Star. I know they said it's international appeal, and it's like, no, it's a brand in India. The rest of the world doesn't know what it is. You know, we've already got Stars Play over here. I don't know, it just seems way too confusing. It seems a much more sense right now just to have one key app that's, you know, really good, full of great content for everyone, rather than breaking it down. And I can't help but think if Hulu didn't exist in the US, they'd be doing a similar thing. We're going to have to wait and see until Disney buy out Comcast's share of Hulu until things can change over there. But Star is a very odd little thing. Joseph asked, with Disney Channel now shut down in the UK, will we get missing seasons for animations like The Proud Family Season 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Season 3 that are missing? Do you think they'll be added now? And when do you think X-Men Evolution and the Wolverine and X-Men Animated Series and Fantastic Four, Earth's Mightiest Hero might drop? As far as timing for all these shows, I've no idea. You know, this is the difference of what's going on right now. Everything is sort of, I think, really changed for Disney Plus in the UK with no longer having the Disney Channel. They don't seem to have kind of worked all of those bits and pieces out in terms of exactly when things are going to drop. It's all going to come down to who has those rights. You know, maybe they don't have the rights in this country. I don't know specifically on those episodes, but I'm going to imagine they're all eventually going to just slide in, and Disney's just going to start dropping those things in bit by bit by bit. And also, maybe they've done a lot last week. They dropped loads on there. I just don't think they're going to do the whole lot all at once. They're going to have to stretch it out. You know, they've got the whole of the next year or so to kind of get all of this content on. I think things will start dropping quicker. But that's going to be the key thing, really, is just dropping things on there much quicker now that the Disney Channel doesn't exist in the UK. Joseph also asked, is there any info that in the UK that the New Mutants might drop soon, like on the November drop? And will X-Men Days of Future Rogue Cut ever drop onto Disney Plus, as that is the proper version of the film? Again, we have no detail on timing. I wouldn't expect to see New Mutants on Disney Plus in November. It would seem really quickly, since it only came out kind of the end of August, beginning of September. I'm imagining at least 6 to 7 months, because, you know, like Onward and things like that, everything has been taking much longer. You know, you think in the UK, for example, we've had Spies in Disguise and Call in the Wild drop in September. They were released back in December and February. So I would imagine it's going to be way into next year before we see New Mutants drop onto Disney Plus internationally. Might be a bit quicker with everything going on, but they have got other deals going on with like Sky and stuff, and I think that's been why things have been a little bit more different over here in the UK. I Got No Name on YouTube asked, since they added Groupwatch, would they add more features in the future like the playback speed to compete with Netflix? And I also just saw that the French, German Disney Plus has some foreign movies from the countries. Would you think that they would do this for other countries like the UK, Latin America, etc.? Okay, so as far as extra feature, I think Disney are probably no doubt constantly working on adding new things to just make the service better, to compete with the other companies, and just in general, just kind of continue to offer the best thing they can. Whether or not that would come in the future, I don't know, but I imagine so. They seem to be very good at kind of continuing to update this app and doing things that they like to kind of give us a better experience. So I would expect we probably will end up with something like this soon enough. As far as the international movies, Disney are in a bit of a weird situation with this in terms of they could do it. Whether or not they have the international rights, you know, if they've got the international rights and they could do it, it might make more sense. The other issue is whether or not they want to kind of go down that line of if there is any dubbing or any subtitles, are they going to have to make sure that they've got it for all of those different regions? And I know, like with Netflix, they've got lots of different content from different languages, and it can be also a little bit of a thing for when people are trying to find stuff. If they start up a movie they don't know and it's not in a language, that can be a bit of an issue. Disney hasn't really gone down that line. Personally, I would love to see them, if they've got the full international rights and they've got dubbed versions and also subtitle versions, put it on there. You know, they can hide it away if they didn't want to necessarily promote it. But personally, the more the better. As long as everyone has access to the stuff, I would like to see more of it. And just have more variety. You know, there's lots of shows being made for Latin America. There's stuff being made for Europe. You know, they are having to do these things in terms of quotas that they are required to run for having these services run in those extra countries. So yeah, the more the better, and that might be something they add in the future, but I do think they're kind of in the same zone right now where they don't really want to do that. I mean, you think of how much content is available on Indonesia and also in Hotstar in India, you know. I don't know, it's a very tricky situation. I don't know what Disney are planning on. It seems like they're generally focused at the minute of just offering their core content that is available worldwide, and then just having those individual countries having special stuff. But I'd love to see more of it. I think the more the better. But nevertheless, let me know in the comments below what you are excited about on Disney Plus this week. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in another video. Later.